Today I will be explaining why riding on a water slide is similar to the qualities that we use in Limon technique. So one of the qualities in Limon is opposition. Now before you even go down the slide, you're feeling opposition between the water and yourself. The water is being pushed out and down the slide, and gravity is taking the water down the slide. You have to wait for the people at the bottom to finish going through the slide before you're able to go. So the lifeguards will typically make you stay where you are, but you're sitting in the water either in the tube or by yourself, and the water is pushing you. So as the water is pushing you down the slide, you have to hold yourself there so that you don't go down the slide before you're supposed to go down. So this creates some opposition. So this video is going to show a little bit of people at the top of the slide holding themselves in so that they don't slide down. As you could see, he's holding on to the side so that he won't be pushed down until he's able to go. And the water is pushing from behind. The next part that I'm going to talk about is the way that water slides use weight and gravity to pull down the tube and yourself. So in Limon technique, we use a lot of weight, especially in our swings. Water slides all use gravity, whether they're steep or whether they're a fairly flat water slide, because the idea is you're going from top to bottom. So the water is using gravity to take you from the top to the bottom. So the water is being pulled down, and therefore it's going to take you down with it as soon as you sit down in the tube. This video is going to show someone going down a fairly steep one, so you could very obviously see the gravity taking him. Now, depending on what kind of a water slide you go on, you could also experience under and over curve. So on the water slide that I'm about to show you, they kind of consider them water slide roller coasters. So they have a lot of hills and they use a lot of force to push you up and down the hills. So when you're going down the hill and you reach the bottom and you shoot back up, that is reminiscent of an undercurve. And when you go from the bottom to the top and then up and over the hill, that is representative of an overcurve, which we also use in Limon technique, especially with our pelvis. So as you can see in that video, the water and what looks like our tires at the bottom are shooting the tubes up the hill so that they could drop down. And you could see how that looks like it would be an under and then an over curve. There are also these types of water slides that have a fairly large drop into what looks like a giant tornado. So these show suspension. So as the tubes drop down, they swing side to side in the tornado. As it reaches the peak of each side, there's a little bit of suspension before it drops down to the other side, and then there's a little bit more suspension, and it keeps going until they reach the end and they shoot out into the pool. So there's suspension at the top, and they slide down, and then there's more suspension, and that just keeps repeating. And in this same type of slide, we're also going to see swing, which is another quality in Limon technique. So when the tube drops down into the bowl, the tube is going to swing from side to side until it shoots out into the end. So as you can see, the tube was swinging back and forth in the giant funnel, and so that would represent the swinging quality, but also their suspension at the top, which is also a big part of the Limon technique. So to end, water slides, I feel, are very representative of the quality that we use in Limon technique, and we would be able to use the imagery of being on a water slide to help us feel the qualities that we're supposed to have in our body when we perform Limon technique.